Welcome to a very special Halloween-themed episode voted on by my patrons! Sorry I didn't dress up for it. Only kidding, but also, if you want to see this full costume, check out my music video for The Light, an original song written for the character of Wonder Woman by myself and Broadway famous Quentin Johnson. He owes me $10 for that introduction. But today, it's not about either of us, but the good citizens of Clocktown from Majora's Mask. I love coming up with a good Halloween costume, so I thought I'd try my hand at assigning this colorful cast of characters some cool costumes based not only on what they look like, but their overall personality as well. And I know I said citizens before, but I want everyone to feel included, so visitors and passersby to Clocktown are welcome on this list as well. Also, I thought the video would be a lot more fun if I could draw from any IP, so this is what they would be if they had knowledge and access to all of the costumes and media that we do currently in our world. That doesn't mean they wouldn't choose something that would also make sense in their world, but it just broadens the horizons a bit to make it more interesting. P.S. This video is going to contain adult themes, so while my content is always directed at an 18+ audience, I especially want to stress that's the case for this video too. So let's start in North Clocktown with the Great Fairy. If the Great Fairy was above wearing a wig or didn't want to change her hair, Cammy from Street Fighter would be a great way to incorporate her long golden locks while keeping her in the airy attire she's used to wearing. But an even better match would be Poison Ivy. She's already draped in what appears to be an ivy of some sort, and look at the eyeshadow compared to Uma Thurman's version in Batman and Robin. I mean, come on! Tingle believes himself to be a reincarnated fairy, flying in the air via a balloon, and wants nothing more than a fairy of his very own. Perfect costume? Peter Pan! Wears green, pointy ears, forever young at heart, can fly, has a fairy. Amazing. The Bomber Secret Society of Justice has 6 members. Jim, the only one with a name, 4 blue bandana ones, and the one with the yellow bandana guarding the hideout's entrance. My first instinct was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that would really only work if there were 4 of them, because they would all want to be one of the turtles. And then I was thinking maybe Minions, because they're in the right age group for that, and they run around annoyingly. But then I was like, no, I've got to look at it from their point of view without my own bias. And to them, they're the do-gooders of town, helping people in need out. No, I've never seen it. So I think they'd be superheroes. The only one with an actual name being Superman, and then probably Batman, Spider-Man, Flash, Hulk, and the yellow one would probably be like Green Lantern or something. While the Keaton in Majora's Mask is very likely based on Kitsune, whether or not it can shapeshift like many Kitsune folktales is never shown, and it's invisible to most people, so I don't think it would bother to dress up for Halloween. The old lady from the bomb shop has an outfit that I think bears the most resemblance to Granny from Looney Tunes or Tiny Toons, but I would also love to see her as Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle. How cute would that be? Sakon would love the anonymity that a Deadpool costume would provide, and would definitely take advantage of that anonymity and the excuse of being in character to cause a bunch of mischief. And by mischief, I mean crimes. Even the way he prances fits Deadpool, so I'm pretty confident about this one. Moving over to West Clocktown and another shady guy, the oddly itchy dude who runs the trading post doubles as the curiosity shopkeeper, and I just know this guy would be something so sketchy. I'm thinking like a pizza delivery guy with the box over his junk, or like a gynecologist who offers free exams, or a weed dealer, but not really, unless any costume that you can make a really gross and inappropriate joke in, you know? But we also can't forget the trading post part-time employee, whose laid-back attitude, hair color, and vibe that he would want a low-effort Halloween costume lends itself to Shaggy from Scooby-Doo to me. Can you see it? For the banker, at first I was thinking maybe a Beetle because of the haircut, and then I was thinking maybe Beetle from other Zelda games, but that'd kind of be like dressing up like your local grocery store's cashier, which is a weird vibe. But honestly, I think another Scooby-Doo costume is in order, because he'd make a great Velma. Maybe Velma when she's looking for glasses. I'm not gonna lie, up until I was getting footage for this video, I always thought that the bomb shop dude was just rocking some leather briefs. And I was heartbroken when I saw from a different angle that he was wearing light pink shorts the whole time. So I'm making my dreams come true and saying he's gonna be a leather daddy Nosferatu. That's right, the world is my oyster with these costumes. My only limits are those of my own imagination. There's another character in this bomb shop to consider though, and that's this Goron. Never had to consider a costume for a species like this, and he doesn't have a whole lot of distinguishing features that set him apart from other Gorons. But because of his bleach blonde hair and goatee, and with the consideration that a Goron would likely want a costume that's not too cumbersome, I think Guy Fieri would make for a great costume for this Goron. The swordsman practically has his costume on already. He's a hippie. He's already got his dogs out, and he's got the long hair, just add a few accessories and boom, easy. The postman cares about delivering messages and going fast, which means he would make for the perfect Hermes from Hades. Imagine the little wings on his sandals. So cute. Let's head on over to South Clocktown, where we'll first be taking a look at the Happy Mask salesman. I definitely think the Happy Mask salesman would wear a mask, if that wasn't obvious, but he doesn't seem like the type of guy to do a full costume. So I could see him either wearing a Joker mask, since he's got a sinister side to him too, or honestly I could just see him having a generic permanently smiling mask to keep the air of mystery. Like imagine going to a party and just seeing this guy standing in the corner. Ooh, shivers. Once again, I was faced with the challenge of dressing a different species, and the best my brain could come up with after staring at him for a long time was pineapple. Also in South Clocktown, we have 3 of 5 carpenters that are all part of the same crew led by Muto. We'll go ahead and look at the whole gang while we're here to make things easier. First of all, Muto wouldn't wear a Halloween costume. He's the absolute worst. I would definitely be like, costumes are for pansies! Then I think the others would want to do a group Ghostbusters costume, but Muto's apprentice, who's well on his way in his training to become the worst, would refuse to participate in order to stand by Muto and not wearing a costume. And that creates kind of a juicy little storyline, so I like it. Then there's the other apprentice to the carpenters, who would absolutely get left out of the group costume and have to do their own thing. Originally I was gonna say Peter Pan, but that one's been claimed, so this might be way too obscure of a reference, but I think Mort, Death's apprentice from the Discworld series, would be the perfect costume for this guy. Mort is a gangly daydreamer who doesn't fit in with his family or their farming business and goes on to become an apprentice. It's perfect! But if you want a more mainstream costume, those sideburns would also be fitting for Hans from Frozen. But I still like the Mort idea better. Finally, based on how mad the dog made me whenever I was Deku Link, he can be a little devil for Halloween. So there. Having already checked off Muto, let's jump over to East Clocktown and take a look at the other folks in the mayor's residence. Starting with the receptionist, at first I was thinking maybe Disgust from Inside Out with the hair and the mannerisms. But as soon as I turned the camera and saw the pants, it instantly hit me. The Glasgow Willy Wonka experience Oompa Loompa. Come on! Come on! I love this one. I think Mayor Dotour and Madame Aroma would very likely have a couple's costume. And their position of power in the town, combined with the dynamic that they have with each other, with Madame Aroma being boisterous and the mayor being more meek and non-confrontational, I think the perfect couple's costume for them would be the King and Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. The mayor's even got the pencil stash going on, and while Madame Aroma's hair leans more Tim Burton than Disney, it's still super suitable for the character. And although for the soldiers I was thinking maybe the Green Army Men from Toy Story with Captain Vanston as the general, or maybe Toy Soldiers in the Nutcracker. If the mayor and his wife are the King and Queen of Hearts, they have the opportunity to do the cutest thing ever and be the card soldiers! While there's not a general of the cards in Alice in Wonderland, Captain Vanston could maybe be the Ace of Spades or something. I want it to happen. Our last character in the mayor's residence is Toto the Zora, whose little straw boater hat, vest, and cane make him look dapper enough to be a Dapper Dan for Halloween, so that's what I'm assigning him. Moving on to the game runners, the gentleman who runs the shooting gallery gives me Andre the Giant vibes, and combine that with his little peasant boots and vest, and I'm immediately drawn to Fezzik from The Princess Bride. Look, they even both have striped pants! And now hear me out! I know I already gave the swordsman and curiosity shop dude costume assignments, but if he could rope them into being Vizzini and Inigo Montoya? Are you joking? Incredible group costume. The first thing I thought of when I saw Honey and Darling was Jesse and James because of Honey's hair, but I don't really think that fits the level of PDA they're constantly displaying. I knew it'd definitely have to be a couple's costume though. Something that was a little obnoxiously in your face, but maybe not to the point of the really tacky ones that just make you go, what are we doing here? And honestly, I could 100% see them being just a straight up bride and groom for their Halloween costumes, which is the kind of disgustingly gushy that's fitting for them. But also, when I was picturing it, it hit me that that's very similar to Sarah from Labyrinth. And Jareth even has the same color blue in his outfit. And then I looked at their faces a little closer, and look at those sharp eyebrows on Darling. They gotta be Sarah and Jareth. The treasure chest game gal wasn't as easy to pin down though. I kind of remembered her being more like punk or alt in my memory. Like I could have sworn she had a few piercings and dark liner or something. But she actually leaned way more traditionally girly than I remembered, even having this little matching pink crop outfit. So I wanted to honor that side of her while also providing some of that alternative edge that my subconscious clearly wanted her to have. Which brought me to raver version of the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, which I really wasn't expecting to be a theme today. But the colors fit, and I could just totally imagine her with arms of candy and big fluffy leg warmers, you know? And the microbanks fit perfectly, 10 out of 10. Mwah, love it. Next we have the Juggling Twins, and I just know in my heart of hearts that these two would dress up as each other for the bit. I can just imagine it. Someone walks up and they're like, oh, y'all didn't dress up? And they're just like, oh, we did. I'm dressed as him and he's dressed as me. Got you. just the worst. Moving inside the inn, Anju always gave me big Disney princess vibes, and her outfit having a similar silhouette to Belle's villager outfit was perfect, since that means Cafe could be Prince Adam, which is the human version of the Beast, for those who may not know. Do you get the symbolism? Being magically transformed and hiding away because of it? We're also gonna assume that he's changed forms back at this point, because it feels weird to do a couple's costume with one of them looking like a child. Staying in the family, Anju's grandmother always reminded me of the exact midpoint between Locke and Shock from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And she's even got that mischievous nature and a bit of a dark edge with the massive spikes on her wheelchair. And while her hair gives me Locke, her voice and overall vibe seems like it lent itself really well towards being Shock. She could even dress her wheelchair up as the walking bathtub they ride in, and it would be perfect! But we also have Anju's mother to think about. And honestly, her whole personality and existing outfit give me big librarian vibes. Like, I feel like she could just slap on a pair of glasses and call it a day. But if she could be convinced to dress up a little flashier, I think the tone of her hair and clothes inspire a bit of Winifred from Hocus Pocus. There was no doubt in my mind what Guru Guru would be for Halloween, and admittedly it was 100% based on his personality. He would be a dog. This dude is a little insane and has always been obsessed with the dog from his old troupe. I think if he had his way, he would skin the dog and wear it as a suit, but I'm not gonna go that dark. And yes, I know he gives Link the Bremen mask and tells him he doesn't need it anymore, but I still think he'd dress up as a dog, just to see how it'd feel for one night. The Rosa sisters are two strong, badass sisters who color coordinate, so who better for them to dress as than Melina and Katana in two of their outfits from Mortal Kombat 11. Sister, mutant hybrid clone, same difference. And to finish out the inn, the toilet guy. I can't believe I'm including him, but I knew I'd get comments if I didn't. He can be Judge Sockner from Rocko's Modern Life. Since the character models for Mr. Barton from the Milk Bar and Gorman were originally based on Mario and Luigi, they would be Mario and Luigi. Gorman might initially come off as more of a Waluigi based on his sour attitude, but the guy seems to just care about his troops' well-being deep down, and maybe just acts the way he does due to the stress from their production being cancelled. And Mr. Barton, while not super chummy with Gorman, does let him stay at the bar even though he's not a member. So I think while his brothers would definitely lean more Waluigi, I may okay assigning Gorman to Luigi. Plus he's got green shoes, so it's destiny. The Goron that's visiting from out of town's gentle disposition and little cap and bow tie translate to being a great old-timey milkman to me. I just think that'd be a lovely little costume for him. So much more to it. Finally, Shikashi is actually based on the character Suhua Shi from the 1978 martial arts film Drunken Master, and you can see the resemblance. However, due to the vibrancy of his outfit and the trippiness of his den, I think he would also make a great Merlin, specifically Disney's Merlin. And that is what every single person and animal in Clocktown would be for Halloween. But you may still be wondering, what would Link dress as for Halloween? And I want to pass that question on to you. What do you think Link would be for Halloween? And for the characters covered in this video, are there any other costumes you think would be a perfect fit? Leave it in the comments. Also, about 80% of you watching this video aren't subscribed, which is an absolute travesty. So if you want to ensure that you catch my future videos instead of them drifting off into the YouTube ether forever, you might want to subscribe. Now I've got some world saving to do. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!
Goombanna is the wonder why she didn't come to play. Gaming vids that'll make you laugh and think and put them on replay. Intelligent, kind of funny, her community's #1. Stick around and kick your feet up. Goombanna has just begun.